Alright, I'm here with one of the members of the band Lighthouse Music, one of the brains behind the whole thing, Davis Hart. And yeah, just gonna do a one-on-one interview along with the whole band. So get things started here. Why choose the name Lighthouse Music?
Lighthouse Music came about, I mean, we all grew up in this neighborhood, which is Lighthouse Park.
Yeah.
And to me it was subtle and at the same time kind of represented where we come from.
Yeah.
It also is kind of a good representation of, I don't know, when I choose a name of anything really, I take into consideration like what that name represents in everyone's mind, not just my own.
Yeah.
And like, to me, a lighthouse represents a specific image of maybe creepy or beacon-like or something like that. I never really like thought about it as a Christian symbol, but a lot of people pointed that out to me since then.
Yeah, so people are saying, you know, are you a Christian? Are you a Christian
that's
band?
happened. But I mean, that doesn't really bother me because I feel like that's like one representation that some group, I mean, some people have, but not everyone. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, I've heard one of the reasons that you all attended at the same elementary school, which has the lighthouse as I guess the main theme of the school. So that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely history. I mean, I grew up right underneath it. It definitely represents like this town to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like our sound comes from this town. You know? Comes from all our experiences here and as friends growing up. And stuff.
Understandable. So, your father being a musician that you obviously look up to, do you feel since he has done well in music that you feel obligated to do well in music also?
No.
No?
He taught me most of what I know, but we're different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And he accomplished things that I'll never accomplish and never intend to. And I'll accomplish things that he never accomplished and never intend to. But we have different motivations and different tastes, but you know, of course we have very similar tastes and similar motivations, but they're definitely different. They come from different paths and we take different routes to where we're going.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course I want to please him and you know, make him feel proud, but it's not like, I don't know, I don't feel the need to compare what I'm doing to what he's doing because it's different. It's different time periods and different, you know.
Yeah.
Everything.
Different sounds, everything's pretty good. Do you feel at all that the music he has written and the music I guess you and your band have written, do you think they're any similar in any ways?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I take a big part in the writing role. I mean, I'm not going to say I take all of it or anywhere near all of it, but I take a big part in decision making about what will be used on stage and stuff. And I mean, of course, growing up hearing certain things, I'm going to like certain things.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I like horns, for example. Like I grew up listening to my dad's band with lots of horns and fusion kind of stuff. You know, fusing different areas of music and stuff.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to experiment. What are your feelings about when the band switches instruments during your set? How do you feel about that?
That's a good question. I mean, I support it 100%.
Yeah.
And it's definitely tough to keep every song live the same caliber as every other song, because definitely some people are stronger on certain instruments than others.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what it does to the textures of the music is more important. Every song changes textures in a way that I've really never heard other bands do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when a band stays on the same instrument, it's great in some ways because that person can focus on that instrument and focus on their ability enhancing on that one instrument. But at the same time, the texture of each song tends to stay in one area rather than exploring, you know?
Yeah. What, do you think the band would sound different if everyone was assigned a certain instrument?
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we just develop a more stationary sound, for lack of a better word. It would be more of a sound that is recognizable over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like instead of someone hearing us and not really being able to place where we are in the genre category or whatever.
Yeah.
It would just be easier to do that, you know? And not that that's my reason for switching instruments, but that would be a side effect of if we stayed on one instrument.
So you maybe think you progress in a certain way because every member is working on one instrument, which...
It would just be different.
Yeah.
And not necessarily better or worse, just different.
You think it would give them a shorter amount of time to get better at a certain instrument?
Like, would they progress further on that instrument if they stayed there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
of course.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we've all just accepted that this is the kind of band we're in, and so therefore, like, have learned to only play what we can play.
Yeah.
You know? Like, a lot of bands that play one instrument want to, you know, expand what they're playing on that one thing further and further and further, and we've kind of gone with a simpler approach almost. Like, people are usually impressed by all the instruments we can play.
Yeah, yeah.
But only some of us can play them really technically, really well.
Yeah.
But it's what we're doing with the instruments rather than, you know, like our technical ability, in my opinion.
Yeah. Is it hard touring with, you know, with all, you know, 5 members and all the equipment?
No, not with the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has been cramped on the bus, but only when we take other bands on tour and stuff, which is fun too.
Yeah.
But it's more cramped.
How many people along with the equipment can you think it will fit?
I mean,
estimating.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven around with 20 people in there,
Okay.
but like, you know, the most we've ever toured with, I think, is 13 on the bus at one time, which was pretty cramped.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you get everybody's clothes and everybody's gear. I mean, it just gets cramped and smelly.
Explain the motor in the bus, which you will see pretty soon.
The motor?
Yeah, the vegetable oil system.
Alright. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept for anybody who's mechanically involved.
Yeah.
Basically, we go to restaurants and go behind them and we suck their oil out of grease traps.
Yeah.
You know, and then on board we have filters and what's called a centrifuge, which is basically a small washing machine that spins the oil and cleans it till it's basically brand new, and then we heat it up and the diesel engine runs on it.
Nice. So you already have a filter built in.
Yeah. Multiple, they're heated filters. All you have to do to vegetable oil to make a diesel engine run on it is heat it and clean it.
Okay.
You know, the diesel engine will run on almost anything. It was designed to run on vegetable oil and peanut oil.
Nice. Do you think that you have more listeners in the band because